Ciao ragazzi, oggi siamo in collegamento con Anton. Anton è un membro della Chiesa di Gesù Cristo dei Santi degli Ultimi Giorni in Ucraina e non solo, lui è anche un nostro collega della MoreGoodFoundation. E oggi con Anton parleremo un pochino di cosa stia succedendo con la guerra e soprattutto, cosa più importante, come sta affrontando la sua vita in un periodo così difficile e in che modo la fede lo sta aiutando. Quindi, Anton, la prima cosa che mi verrebbe da chiederti e mi fa pensare è quale sia effettivamente il ruolo della fede in un periodo come questo.
Oh, well, being a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, in times like this, I believe your faith actually plays a great role. It actually helps you to overcome all the trials and challenges and just all your worries and fear in your life. And specifically in this past several years, actually weeks and years, I've been exercising my faith a lot. Me and my family, we saw a lot of miracles, and we saw that God actually is taking care of us. And everything we're doing daily right now, we are relying on the Lord as much as possible. And it's really a blessing to believe in God and know that He's there, He's listening, and He will provide a way and support and everything. So, I know people, they might lose their faith in these situations, but I believe most of the people, they actually gain more faith.
Personalmente il sentimento che ho, quello che mi verrebbe da chiedere è chiedere a Dio perché sta succedendo tutto questo. Però è bello vedere il modo in cui tu lo stai affrontando molto bene. È una domanda, Anton, in che modo tu hai conosciuto la Chiesa?
I was about 8 years old when my father, he met the missionaries on the street, and they came to our home, and that's how we met the missionaries, and they invited us to come to the Sunday worship. We went, and we like it, and that's the first interaction with the church that happened to me.
E poi da allora?
We were attending church from time to time, but I was not really interested because I was just a little kid, not understanding a lot. But at least I saw good people around. I felt good, and they taught me how to pray and to read scriptures. And then when I was 13 or something years old, eventually the church missionaries were trying to teach me more about the Jesus Christ and His teachings, and asked me, all right, do you want to be baptized, and when exactly? Just give us a date. And that's how I was baptized too.
Sì, capisco quel momento. Essendo stata anch'io una missionaria, c'è quel momento in cui inviti le persone a seguire l'esempio di Gesù Cristo ed essere battezzati. E come funziona invece adesso per le riunioni in chiesa, per la frequenza in chiesa, sia in generale da te, dove vivi tu, che in Ucraina?
Well, you know that for the past 2 years already we have this pandemic around the world, and all our church meetings were transferred to the online meetings via Zoom or something like that. So pretty much I see that the Lord, He prepared us specifically in this area in Ukraine to be ready, gather online and have meetings online. And we've been doing this for more than a year, and it works fine. We have people, even the elderly people, who are ready to join and participate in everything. Right now, during this war, during this conflict, people are still doing that, and we are actually really surprised and pleased that most of them are still joining Sunday church meetings, and a lot of them are able to participate in the sacrament as well. Also, we have small groups of people who are meeting in the local church houses, and that's fine too. But usually all those meetings are still translated via Zoom. So I would say not a huge decrease or increase, it just pretty much stays the same.
Ok, quindi per guardare il lato positivo potremmo dire che la pandemia sia stata un po' di preparazione sotto questo punto di vista, per questo momento. E noi qua in Italia abbiamo avuto un po' la stessa situazione per un bel po' di tempo e adesso invece le cose stanno tornando più alla normalità, quindi possiamo frequentare le riunioni in presenza e, e sicuramente dà un aspetto più di normalità. Per quanto riguarda invece i contatti con la tua famiglia, come la stai vivendo?
So I have a wife and a kid, almost 3 years old son. They both are abroad in Europe. I'm still in Ukraine because I'm not allowed to leave the country yet because of the war and everything. And we just communicate on our smartphones and laptops on the internet pretty much every day, every morning, every evening. We try to send texts and have a little video chat if possible. I think that's also a blessing, but we still miss each other. It's been already more than a month that we haven't seen each other in person. And my son is always like, I want to talk to him. Like, why is that happening? He doesn't know the situation, doesn't understand, but yeah, he just misses his father too.
No, immagino, piccolino. Anton, mentre parlavamo mi hai accennato ad un paio di miracoli che sono avvenuti. Ti va di condividere qualcosa?
Yes, sure. Maybe calling it miracle is not a huge miracle for others, but for us in that specific situation, it was a miracle. For example, when everything started, the very first morning when my wife woke me up and said, I hear something, I hit bombing or something. And we decided to leave our city. We just packed our stuff quickly and got in a car and tried to leave the city. It was already pretty packed, like there was a traffic jam and everyone was trying to have some gas in the tanks and everything. It was a little confusing and everything. But as soon as we left the city, we still had enough gas to go to another gas station and to fill our tank. And we had no idea where to go or where we will sleep that night. Plus, we have a small child and everything, So we just said, all right, we are okay, we'll just go. Obviously, we prayed before and we understood that Heavenly Father will provide a way. And our journey to the other city on the western part of Ukraine took 3 days because of the traffic jams and some other problems with gas and everything. But every single night, actually 2 nights, we had a place to stay, like an absolutely comfortable place to stay, to have a rest, to have a sleep and everything and eat. And it was a miracle because a lot of people were stuck in the cities. They were stuck on the roads. We saw like big lines of cars and some of them got in accidents. It's like, what are you going to do now? There's a war in the country. Your car is broken. What's next? So we were so blessed to be safe and, and have everything, where to stay, what to eat. And
Wow. No, non considerarlo affatto un piccolo miracolo. Secondo me è un miracolo grandissimo. E a volte quando penso ai miei problemi o alle mie difficoltà, magari la difficoltà più grande è i bambini che si ammalano nel mezzo della notte e devo portarli in ospedale, oppure la macchina che si rompe, quindi non so come accompagnarli a scuola, ma non posso neanche lontanamente immaginare cosa significhi fare le valigie, lasciare la tua città per sempre con un bimbo, anche con un bimbo piccolo a seguito. Quindi è un miracolo grandissimo.
One thing I just want to mention quickly is that actually it wasn't just out of a sudden. Like we were trying to prepare ourselves. Like in the church, like for several months, we've been teaching others and saying to everyone, and our leaders were telling us, like, try to prepare yourself, like have a food storage, have a water storage in your house, prepare like a 72 hours backpack, anything you need with the documents and everything to survive these couple of days. And we had those things. So when the time came, we just took those things, rearranged a little bit. So we spent maybe 2 hours to pack everything. Like if we haven't do this, it would take like the whole day for us to pack. So we were talking about this in the church a lot, and people, the members of the church, at least they were somehow ready. Even we were talking to them and we were saying, like, the church will not provide an evacuation bus or airplane for you, but at least you need to understand for yourself your circumstances. Maybe you want to go to your relatives, so maybe you go outside the city, like in your like other apartment or place to stay, or you decide to stay. Then you have to think more about your food storage and everything. So at least we were talking about it, and it worked actually and helped us a lot. But eventually, yes, we just go and we exercise our faith. That's how it works.
E quanto è stato difficile per la tua famiglia lasciare il paese?
It was not a big problem because by the time they were leaving the country, we were close to the border, maybe 2 or 3 hours away from the border with European Union. And so eventually we just felt that, yes, my wife and kid will go abroad and I will stay. So we rearranged our stuff in the car and everything. I got my stuff out and everything else was in the car. And yeah, they just drove to the border. And it was hard on the border because there was big lines of cars and people. So they have to spend there around 8 hours or 10, I can remember, on the border just to cross the border, But still, it was fine. Our son miraculously was doing okay, and he understood that, all right, I'm going to just wait, in the car. But we couldn't imagine how it would happen in normal life, And on the border, lots of people actually were helping. They were just giving away free food and water and everything. So it was manageable. And as soon as they crossed the border, we had other people contact beforehand from the church, and they provided a place to stay overnight. And so it was easier, much better then.
Sappi che tutti quanti stiamo pregando per voi, l'abbiamo fatto finora e continueremo a farlo. Speriamo che veramente tutti possiate uscire da questa situazione nel modo più sicuro possibile. Ora ci sono tante persone che stanno ascoltando, ascolteranno questo messaggio, quindi volevo chiederti se c'è qualcosa in particolare che tu vuoi condividere, perché noi veramente possiamo ascoltare tante storie, ma non sappiamo cosa significhi realmente vivere quello che state vivendo voi. Quindi se ci fosse un messaggio che tu potresti condividere con tutti, quale sarebbe? Cosa vorresti dire?
Well, one thought that comes to my mind is when we were driving in our car the first day and thinking about everything, and my wife was worrying about it, like she couldn't drive. I was driving all the way because her hands were shaking a little bit, and at that moment we thought that, all right, like now we understand what's really important in life. Like we just want to be together and safe, and that's it. Everything else doesn't matter. And so I would say that truly the most important things in life it's what we've got from God. That's what we've been taught in the church. It's relationships, it's our families, and in our life, So it doesn't matter if you have a nice place to stay or if you have a car, computer, or cell phone or something like that. It's a good thing to have, but eventually it doesn't matter at all when it's your life or not, So That's what I would mention, that remember the important things. And second thing is that I truly believe, and I saw that God prepares a way for them who believes in him and tries to keep his commandments. I don't know how it works, but it amazes me that in Ukraine, where it is about 10,000 or 11,000 members of the church, none of them is dead right now because of the war. It's unbelievable. Like I thought like a lot of people will suffer or will pass away. But as for the last Sunday, officially, we don't have any member of the church being
the casualty
seriously
number.
No casualties at all. We had a state conference and we officially got this information, and me and my colleague also helps me with that knowledge. So yeah, it surprises me. Like a lot of people live in Ukraine and a lot of death already. Like we know the people are dying because of that, and it's impossible to have no casualties in the war. But somehow God protects his people and others who believe in him. So we are truly thankful for that. We don't know how it will be in the future, but at least for right now, I can say that he can help, he can provide a way.
Grazie Anton, grazie per averci e avermi personalmente ricordato quali sono le cose che veramente hanno più importanza nella nostra vita e a volte presi dalla vita quotidiana tendiamo a dimenticare. Quindi grazie anche per aver condiviso le tue esperienze con noi e veramente noi continueremo a pregare per voi, speriamo che tutto possa risolversi nel migliore dei modi e mandiamo un grande abbraccio a te e alla tua famiglia. Che Dio vi benedica.
You're welcome.